another episode of J Monday on the Sunday. J77, who is extremely exhausted for having watching a marathon of Batman, the original TV series, as well as watching a very important announcement from Enron, aka the Blockbuster Buzzer, on his YouTube vlog channel. I'll explain that as we go along. But right now, just want to introduce myself, J77. Josh can say hello.
Yo!
And as usual, she has her hat just staring into the monitor screen. We got a few things we want to talk about. I might as well just get started with the situation involving one of the social sites. Um, I originally was going to do a express yourself blog on this, but I figured, what the hell, I might as well just do it as a J&J segment. Um, I might as well just tell you this. When this whole thing went down with Blimp, and in case you guys don't know, Blimp, as of August 20th, will be completely shut down. There will be no more Blimp. And when I heard about this, it was like on a Monday, I believe. It was like, I was just, heading from work. I didn't even want to do anything else. I just want to check my emails, see what my fellow members of Mad Expression was doing, see if Joshkin had anything on a Twitter account. And the first thing I hit, the moment I got onto Twitter, I saw Jim's tweet about Blimp. And I had usually, when I see this, I did a pause. I waited a good 30 seconds because I wanted to make sure that I'm reading this right. And I retweeted him. I asked him if this is actually true, this is actually happening. Not to sound shocked about it, because if you've seen the pattern within the last 3 years, not one, but three, it was, the writing was on the wall. He did respond back to me quickly, say, yeah, this is happening. And I went through versions of news, finding out what was the deal, what was going on, and I found the right information. Also, two very highly popular video makers have talked about this, and that was Review Tech USA, who was a former member of Channel Awesome, who's doing his own thing on YouTube. As well as Blimp TV. Um, I mentioned this a few episodes ago about the situation that the Blockbuster Bus was going through. He was not receiving any kind of pay whatsoever. I mentioned this, how I felt that was kind of wrong with what they was doing, how disrespectful they was doing towards the producers, because they wasn't paying them without any explanation how. A lot of producers have went to Patreon because of this. A lot of producers have went and pretty much asked for donations to keep the show running. And to Enron's, to my great joy, Enron have gotten the donation he needed to keep the show running. Um, it didn't, however, erase the huge problem that producers was getting on Blend TV. And I'm just gonna say this nicely, as much as possible, because I don't do the swearing thing here. You know, my partner, that's a different story. She probably have something to do.
I
Um,
live off cuss words.
mhm. I'm gonna be as nice as I possibly can towards this company. I like Epic Rap Battles of History, but I gotta just call it like it is. Um, this whole problem came down the moment they bought Blimp, and from as they continue with with the Blimp purge, kicking people off Blimp, with the reducing the costs of people's videos to the point of not paying the videos, it was very clear that they didn't care about the community, and that's Maker Studio. Now, Maker Studios is a studio that is part of the Walt Disney division. They run pretty much independently. Disney normally doesn't sink their teeth into it, so this is mostly in their department. And since then, you start to see a lot of stuff was happening, and it was very clear, from what I have seen or what I have been observing, that they was trying to make it a pretty much a privilege only video video site, meaning that only a certain select few will be able to post there and produce videos for them there. Um, and it was very evident that was they was trying to do that. Um, and with that, a lot of mistakes has happened. I'm just gonna say it right now. All right, YouTube, Blimp, Facebook, Twitter, their survival is based on the community. There's no question about it. All right, without that community, they don't have a site. All right, and that is something that I think Blimp has totally forgotten. Now, have Blimp made it very clear of their true intentions in the very beginning? Because I read the tweet from the original owner before he sold Blimp to make a studio, and I do agree with him that it's not easy running a large site like this. Um, YouTube had gone through the same situation, and they was forced to sell to Google, which became in many ways a blessing for YouTube because they had more resources. The key word is more resources, and it actually became even more of a blessing for YouTube. For the simple fact is that because of that, they was able to outwit Blimp. Let's keep it real. Um, I People, if you've even never been on YouTube, never have a channel, never had even posted a link, you know what YouTube is because YouTube made it their business to spread the word. Whether it is promoting their most popular channels to basically bringing out new content, being in the news, you know what YouTube is. I have asked 10 of my friends, 10 of my colleagues from work about the situation with Blimp. Only one out of those 10 knew what Blimp was. That is not a good sign at
Like
all.
a blimp, or is it like a Subway sandwich?
Exactly. There's was one of the things they brought up that they didn't really know what Blimp was. And Blimp, by the way, is not is a young but not that young. It's like they've been around 10 years. That's how long they've been here. And 10 years, hardly anybody know what Blimp was. Now I'm gonna keep it real. All right. There was only a few people that I went to see for Blimp. After that, I didn't really care. I didn't need to go to their website because, frankly, most of the people who I wanted to see was either on Channel Awesome or on the Agony booth or on Automatic Expression. There was no need for me to go there. Okay. Um, there were other people who did. They went to Blimp. They supported them on Blimp. They went through a whole lot of things, and the community was strong. It was a very strong community until they did the Blimp purge. And I think they failed to realize when they did that, they not only removed video producers off their sites, whether they was popular or not, because even some of the most popular had problems with that. They actually tossed out the fan base as well. And Channel also has gone through this as of late, and Blimp had went through that, and eventually it caught up with them. And I understand what Maker Studio was trying to do, but I felt it was the way they did it pretty much a turn off a lot of people to move away from Blunt. Now there were other factors, about the ad blockers that played a big role in it, um, but it was a very small role compared to what they have done. And now we have a situation where, especially with that guy with the glasses.com, or if you want to call, I still call it that guy with the glasses,
I picked
channelawesome.com.
a site I don't go to anymore.
Well, that's a whole different story. We're talking next week about. But
No,
it
no,
is a
I
concern.
think that it's not about the events that are happening. It was just that for some reason I started going to it less and less before all the big outrages happened.
Yeah, we know about the big outrages.
Yeah, but
Well,
that was
Ken made sure of
before.
that.
No correlation between the two is what I'm saying.
Mhm. But here's the thing. I made it very clear in my videos, in my audio blogs, and my podcast. I made it very clear that if they continue to do this, they're gonna lose a lot more fan base to make up, and it happened. And if you think I'm actually, I'm gonna make it very very clear. If you think I'm happy this happened, I'm not, because here's the thing. we have lost a place to go to post videos. There isn't that many places out there that we can actually go and post videos. And we have YouTube, we have Daily Motion, but there isn't that many other video hosting sites after that. Yahoo, they made it clear that they're only looking for a certain select few. Um, Hulu, you're not going to go post those video there. They're very clear what they're doing. So there's really not many community-based sites. So seeing the loss of that, yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot of people. It's gonna affect a lot of people. There may be a possibility that that half of Channel Awesome producers may just quit, may just give up, because even though like Blockbuster said he's going to Daily Motion, he's gonna have his channel there. Um, and I'm glad that he's making the move. There are other people who are not going to have a Patreon account or don't have the fan base enough to support what they want to do, so they may just resign. We've already seen that in a lot of videos, and this is where, and I would bring up Channel Awesome on this, when I felt Channel Awesome had failed in some ways, but this is where I felt that Maker Studios have failed, because I've read some of their mission statements saying they've joined, go here to get the latest stuff from them and everything else. If you didn't treat your fans well with Blimp, a a, a well-established community site, and you took that community site from them, and you treated it like nothing, why would anyone want to go with you on whatever adventure? Because for what I understand, they're trying to make a network known as Makers TV. All right, fine. But you're gonna have a hard time getting fan base. You're gonna have a hard time getting producers because you already messed them up on Blimp. So to me, is very heartbreaking to see Blimp go the way it did. But at the same time, I think that there was a lot of stuff, a lot of factors that led to their demise. And to me, I have to point it mostly on Maker Studio. I blame most of that Maker Studios. I don't think they really cared about the community, and that was the downfall of Blimp TV. Josh, what are you feeling about that?
Hmm. Crap.
Because you was part of Blimp TV for a while.
Yeah, I was kicked out in like the first or second purge. So I just fuck it. it's that's I could see that they were going for a more professional layer, which I don't necessarily have. But like me getting kicked off is like one thing. I'm like one of those that you expect to be kicked off a site like that. But then other bigger names got kicked off, and it's just like, wait a moment, these are the people that bring money in. These are people that have a little better equipment than me. And they're getting kicked off. I think Lotus Prince got kicked off. So.
I haven't heard. I don't know if he did or did. I know he has a YouTube channel, so I follow him there. But that was the whole big thing. I mean, they was throwing out a lot of people left and right, and I don't know. From what some people said, they had an automatic system that was determining who um, who stays and who goes. And
You
to
can't do it
me,
with an automated system like that because it's like there's always going to be a problem here or there. You sort of need to look at the videos yourself, even if it's just a few minutes each video, to see what content, maybe even look at the comments. That takes up a lot of time, though, so. But if you want to do quality content on your site, you might need to take a little bit more effort than, oh, just because our automated system said this or that, we're going to kick you off.
well, right now, a lot of people. I feel bad for a lot of producers there because, as Enron have explained, and he and I'm grateful because I did ask for him to make a comment about the situation, because I left a comment on his video. I'm pretty sure that others have done it as well, or emailed him, whether it's from Channel Awesome or from YouTube. I mailed and said, listen, I'm aware that the situation is happening. I want to know what you stand on. Are you going to continue the show? If not, thank you for your dedication, hard work. It's never going to be forgotten. I was hoping he would be responsive, and he did, and he explained everything. And this is kind of what saddens me, and I'm pretty sure some people will try and get like an archive for his videos, especially from his honest reviews, as much as possible. But he's tend to lose almost half his videos. He has almost 300 videos on Blimp, and he said it's just no time for him to um, you know take those videos and put it save in the computer. And he even said that, hey, his computer may not be able to withstand those videos he made, because those videos takes a lot of memory, and his computer may not have enough memory. I mean, sometimes to make a video like that, it takes 1 gig, sometimes two gigs, just for one video, depending on the size. And that's for, like, for me, I make a one flashback review that just for 10 minutes can easily be 1 gig tops. So imagine him doing 20 minutes of a video plus footage. So that takes a lot of space. So so he has 300 videos, and he said he's no way gonna save them all. So he's tend to lose. And I tell you right now, if you probably went through this with your computer one at one time, the feeling of losing work. Like I lost like 2,000 music one time because my computer just mysteriously crashed, and when I rebooted, all my music I had was gone because I couldn't get back in my computer. Do you know how frustrating and angry I was to lose that much of hard work and dedication that I did to form that music, to form my library? So I can imagine, just imagine
Fuck. I
what
remember
go.
when my hard drive crashed, it was just like, yeah. I had a couple folders of pictures that had taken me maybe a year or more to collect.
Can you imagine just losing that in 2 seconds?
Yeah, it's just like, hey, I'm here. No, I'm not. What the fuck?
Yeah, so I can tell that he did a great job. He was very professional, but I can tell that just angers him. But I think the one thing about it is that he was prepared for this, because he did his scouting. He did go into Daily Motion, and he's going to be posting his videos there. And I got a Daily Motion account, so I can actually go there and keep it and watch his videos from there. Nevertheless, not everybody's going to make that move. And Daily Motion is not Blimp. I don't. They're they're not.
I spit that. I didn't just say it, I sprayed it.
And like I said, Daily Motion is not Blimp. I don't know how they do the pay rate. I'm pretty sure they do at some point, but I doubt it's the same. Going to be the same. On the one hand, it's nice to see that Daily Motion is going to be getting more subscribers, but at the same time, this is I can't stress this enough, because I made it very very clear. A lot of people made it very, very clear. The Arch Feed, Undertaker Freak, the guy formerly known as the reviewer who left us. I can't get his name for some reason. Um, Fear of the
Viewers
Film Fan.
us.
Everybody who have talked about this have said this, and it just goes for those who are on YouTube, those who are on other sites. Don't depend if you're going to make this a business, which a lot of people have done, and I have no problem with this. Don't fall in the mercy of these video hosting sites, because once they're gone, um, you're going to be left with a very very bad predicament, especially if you don't have a backup plan. A lot of these guys who have posted videos here, I can tell you right now, a good majority of them don't have a backup plan. And one may have to ask, where they getting their finance? Are they gonna continue doing something with a different format that's gonna pay just as much, not more than Blimp? or they're gonna stop because they can no longer afford. They got to work. They gotta make. They gotta eat. They gotta do something. So to me, this was a huge wake up call, and I'm gonna start saying this, and this I'm not gonna wait another week. The message of the channel awesome. I'm gonna say this, and I don't care if fanboys hear this or not. Change your damn policies. Change your policy because here's the thing. You guys may be okay. I don't know the situation within your guys' account. That's not my business. But the bottom line is, your producers are unprotected. Your producers are completely unprotected. And guess what? They're left in a situation where your website may be partially empty because of it. All right? If you care about the community, which you claim you do, which kind of funny because I'm hearing a lot of stuff that's been happening over the past few years, and they're not pretty. And I'll bring that up next week, but not in the way that you guys think. I'm not going to make that into the channel awesome ranting show. What was that?
I won't be here for like the next 2 weeks. At least I'll be in this house, but I might not be able to do podcasts.
So we're doing it right now then. So
Yeah, it's like you're not doing the good shit without me. God damn it! You watch fucking Lord Cat's 7-hour fucking video, and then there's also a 6-hour part 2 that I'm getting through. So I'm prepared for this shit.
well, we're gonna do it right now, but I gotta bring this. I have to bring this up, and I'm not gonna bash Channel Awesome for that video, but it is a concern. So I might as well bring it up now, considering that I was gonna make the season finale next week. I'm still gonna do the season finale next week, but probably without you, and we'll just
I
have
might
the August.
make it. I might not. I just don't want to say for certain. Yes, I'll be here.
Well, we'll be here for the finale, but the mid finale, by the way. But I will bring it up since we're here. But it's gonna be a while, so I hope you got time. All right. This is the problem that I feel. And listen, I know that you guys felt that this system worked for you guys in the past. I honestly, from what I've been hearing, I know how you guys can think that way. But right now, it's going to be kind of hard for any producer, I don't, young and old, to stay on a site that basically let this happen. And trust me, Dog Walker's feeling it as well because his bread and butter was Blimp. He had a huge contract with Blimp. He made a lot of money with Blimp. He's one of the major feature stars of Blimp TV, and Blimp is no longer there. So he's gonna feel it a lot more than what I think people realize. Everybody's gonna feel it. Even YouTube is gonna feel it. The effects is gonna be big. And for me, the Maker Studio is, hey, you tried. If that was the case, fine. But to me, I never really once felt you cared about the community. I felt that you did it. If anything, you ripped apart the community, and I think you've forgotten that the reason why people are there is because of the community. Right? I watched the famous channel. Hey, maybe this guy's good. I'll go turn over here and see what he got. Or maybe this person's good. I'll turn over here and see what you got. I think you rip apart the community so much that they just said, what the hell with it. The lack of ad revenue, plus the lack of actually going beyond what Blimp TV originally stood for. Because YouTube, I got news for you, was the same thing. YouTube was not making money in the first few years. Google came along. All of a sudden, they was doing better. Now they done some crazy stuff. Trust me, they did a lot of stuff, and it's kind of ironic that the stuff they was doing was trying to combat Blimp. It didn't work out that way. So, to all you guys out there, I look, Maker Studio to me is they. I just didn't see it. I didn't see it. Still love rap battle history, but I feel that Blimp had messed up, and I mean, Maker Studio had messed up in so many ways that I just felt that they said the hell with it. And you want to talk about Channel Awesome? I can see it right in your eyes that you can't wait.
Awesome Studio. I can't. Was that a little blip on the screen?
Hmm.
That was a bad pun. That's
So yeah, guys, listen. I hope that the producers can find a home. I seriously doubt all of them's going to do it. I think that most of them are going to, basically shut it down for good. I know that Blockbuster Buzz is not going to do that. He's our Patreon already up. He's already doing Daily Motion, um, and hopefully he can keep it running for as long as possible. As for Channel Awesome, on this situation, I hope they have a new business model because to me they can't rely. They simply cannot rely on the old model anymore. It's just not working. It used to be great at the time, but if you're going by that old model by relying on a video sharing system, you're basically fooling yourself. You're setting yourself for a downfall, and that's my opinion. Which leads me to the Lord Cat rant that I didn't know existed until a friend of mine's linked me to this to that rant. Josh can have listened to it, and she's looking at part two as we speak. Um, I, I want to let you talk first because I talked a lot already with the blimp thing.
oh shit!
I'm
Now I
just gonna say this. I will say this though. All right, I'm not going because we were there. Oh, you gonna attack that guy? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna sit here and blast that guy with the glasses. What I am gonna talk about is the issues that was arrived, not just by Lord Cat, who was a former member of that guy with the glasses, but from the former executive, I believe she was Holly Christie. Um, also from former members of that guy with the glasses, also known as now as Channel Awesome, which is Spoonie, the amazing atheist who mentioned some stuff here. Lupa, who I read her Tumblr, which I didn't want to talk about, and then I will bring up a little bit what she said in her Tumblr. And from even some people I haven't even heard yet. From they pretty much been kept quiet. I want to bring this up for a reason, because there is two sides to channels and investigators the website, including Mad Expression. To the side where we all enjoy ourselves, we post videos, we have fun, we blog, we communicate. But there's a business side to this to these websites, and I think we got it. And I think especially with Channel Awesome, they need to practice better business methods because what I'm hearing and what has been spread around the internet, if I'm gonna be honest, if I'm a banker and you come to me with an idea and I'm hearing all this stuff going on in your website, I don't want to invest on that. I don't want to invest on you, especially when you don't have good ethics within your company. And that's where I think it really comes down to more ethic issues than someone he say, she say kind of scenario. Joshkin, your opinion on that. And your
just
opinion on what you've been hearing lately in the past week.
uh, I ran into Channel Awesome, I think on the advice of a friend in college. We now don't really keep up communication. And so I started watching the videos there, and I really enjoyed what I saw. I liked the content. I used to keep up with Linkara, and he allowed me to actually sound like I knew something about comics. Like I can go for now like a minute or two about that subject with, well, fooling people into thinking I know more than I do, especially if they're not comic book fans themselves. And let me just say that I keep on meaning to get into comic books, and every now and again people will give me a little list of comics I should read, and then somehow they get lost every time. But and then I can't remember. It's not like within the week I've heard bad shit about Channel Awesome. It was a little prior to now that I heard it like every now and again, but I sort of just sort of pushed it aside because I'm like, all I'm here to do is watch videos and nothing. I guess I wasn't hearing the really bad shit. I was like, okay, this and that happened, but hey, the videos are still coming out. And now this shit has come tumbling out, and I'm just like, fuck. I knew there was some bad shit in store, but yeah.
Now, in case anybody wondering what we're actually talking about, Lord Cat has a show called Lord Cat Live. I visit Lord Cat's site for every now and then. He has a channel on YouTube, and somebody linked me to a bundle because it's been edited from different kind of shows. It was a prize of 7 hours of Lord Cat, just basically going crazy on Channel Awesome.
That's putting
And
it lightly.
I mean, he went realistic, and I really don't like to hear the drama the way it is. But when I heard it the first 10 minutes and what he was talking about, it just basically I just kept it on that channel and just wanted to hear what he had to say. And I kept in mind of one thing. I said, one, this is one guy's opinion. I don't know the whole story. I don't know both sides of the stories. Um, I haven't heard much from Lindsay and Todd. Todd is still there, by the way. Todd is still doing his thing, but Lindsay has pretty much went her own direction. And just for the record, Lindsay, formerly known as the Stonge Chick, have left on good terms. I want to make that very very clear. She left on good terms. That's not to say everybody left on good terms. And the stuff that came out with Lord Cat, and listen, there's a lot of stuff I do hear and listen and agree with. There's a lot of stuff I don't like that he says, and one of the things I and I know you heard it from your own, you heard it right from your own ears. The one thing I don't like is when people rant to the point where they wish death on someone. I don't buy that. I don't like that. I don't respect that. All right. With that being said, I listened to the 7 hour part one because there's actually a whole archive on YouTube right now about this. And despite some of the stuff that he's been saying, and there's a lot of stuff I didn't even wear that came to play. There are some stuff that I do agree with him about. One of them about leadership, and it's no coincidence that a lot of people who had a strong influence on Channel Awesome ain't there. Holly was one of them. The person who played Monty during the early stage of that guy with the glasses, he's no longer there. Now, there's been jumping rumors saying that he left or he got fired. I don't know what happened. Okay, I don't know what happened with it, but he's not there. And a lot of the anger a lot of his anger towards Channel Awesome seemed to be focused not much on Doug and Rob Walker, but it seemed to be focused a lot on Mike Machad and the stuff that was said about him, the stuff that went on between him and Lupa, the stuff that was going on with the way he had treated women in general in Channel Awesome, which is kind of weird because you didn't get that with Lindsay Ellis. And Lindsay Ellis was one of their top producers on the site. You would think that if anybody would say something about this situation, it would be Lindsay Ellis. Um, Obviously, Lord Cat has a lot of respect for Brad, which I myself do. I think he's an awesome actor who deserves a lot more credit in terms of filmmaking, as well as being pretty much being in acting. Period. I think he deserves to be in acting. I don't know why he's not in Hollywood right now, but he definitely is one of those guys that definitely, if he was to audition for a role, he would have gotten it. That's how good he is. I'm not a big fan of Kigasia, but I really did enjoy his performance in that movie because you felt professionalism on that. But lately, as you hear this, you see a lot of bitterness, and I would probably brush it off as a person who is angry, who is bitter, who is just throwing stuff out there, or just for the sake of throwing out there. But he's echoing what Spoonie has said, and he left, and it was on good terms. I mean, it didn't start it as such. God knows. I remember the panel that we had in Matic Expression having that discussion. We had that. We had uh, um, the Amazing Atheist, which was actually the Distress Watcher, and what he had mentioned, and he mentioned a lot of interesting stuff, but he said he didn't have no hard feelings, and he left it just as that. The situation with, I forgot, the Australian reviewer that was doing their first season. He was actually in the anniversary and never seen again. Phyllis was pretty much gone from the series. We don't know what happened to him. Skewers Luba had a Tumblr which explains her situation, how she was treated with Mark Machad, and how they was upset with her because she put a something on a video that was able to generate more money. They didn't appreciate that, and she was ultimately fired from Channel Awesome, which I just kind of find it strange. So there was a whole lot of stuff was going on, and all of them came to a lot of things. One, um, they was not making enough money, and that guy when the guys wasn't paying them. Two, them actually flying over to make a movie and getting no royalties, which I don't get.
Yeah, plus if you know you have to fly somewhere and it's for some companies like movie or whatever, you should get compensated for that shit because it's like you're spending your time and your money to go somewhere just to film and then come back shortly after.
And there was a whole lot of stuff like you just said there. So it's like, wow, this is not going to end because a lot of stuff is keep repeating itself, and it continued to go back to Mike Rashawn, who is the CEO. There was a quiz show that was supposed to be released 2 years ago, and by the way, I did see the quiz show, and $90,000. Yeah, they're gonna feel it. They're gonna feel it from a lot of criticism, because even though their diehard fans have said some not so nice words about it, and after seeing, well,
I
after
haven't seen
seeing,
it, and the more I hear about it, I'm like, I made a smart decision for once.
mhm, they, there was rumors that Brad, who um, who was supposed to host the show, is no longer hosting the show, which is kind of interesting. He still have he's still making videos for them, but after hearing the stuff that he talked about with Hope Chapman, aka Jesse Ataku, which I have no beef with her. I mean, I don't know what happened with her and Nash. It's none of my business about the relationship. To Todd in the Shadow, which his I thought I thought he had beef with this beef with Spoonie was bad. This was worse. He went really after Todd in the Shadows, and I'm like, Todd in the Shadow do to you? I mean, really, talking about the website, and but really it became clear that it was a lot of stuff he was saying was about management and leadership, and it's not. And as crazy it may sound, I know, and there's a lot of stuff I don't agree with what he said. I cannot sit there with a straight face and say he's wrong about the leadership or lack thereof, because there's a lot of stuff that continue to repeat itself, and it's really starting to take a toll on Channel Awesome. And even if you're a diehard fan, and I'm still a fan of Channel Awesome, I mean, there's still great personalities there that I go watch. Top of the 4-4, Blockbuster Buster. I support those guys. I still watch Dog Walker's videos. But one gotta ask, where is the leadership? What direction is this channel going? What direction? They want to be a company? Fine. But they gotta move away from the box. Because the one thing I will say that disturbs me, and put aside Lord Cat, was their Indiegogo promotion, which I didn't mention. All right, and I said this again: if you want to donate money to the site for whatever reason, that's fine. But when you start asking ordinary people for anywhere between 1,000 to almost $10,000, I don't want a prize. I want a piece of the company. Forget about that. Give me the piece of the company, please. All right. I want some shares. All right. You asking for $10,000? I want some stocks and bonds, because now you're asking for way more than what your fans can probably even afford. So there was a lot of stuff that bothers me. They raised $90,000 for production that didn't look like $90,000. Right. And I think the problem with that is that I really don't think they really done their homework properly. Because when I watched that pop quiz show, and I will leave you the link so you can watch the pop quiz show. There is nothing that tells me this show was worth $90,000. The biggest prize of this show was $100. That's it.
So you put $90,000 into it, and you're like, "Hey, the biggest thing we have is $100."
No, but to be fair, it's not just a game show. There's other shows that they're trying to work on, but we don't know when they're coming out. We haven't seen the light of day yet, and this is the problem that I think that has happened. They went through 5 takes, for what I understand. Um, Brad Jones did one episode, never been seen since. To me, there's a lot of misguided leadership there, and to me, I think Doug Walker, Rob Walker, Mike Machad, especially after the Blip fiasco, they need to sit down, have a very strong meeting, and really decide what they really want to do. Because this pattern that they're doing, their business model is not working. All right, and put aside the game shows, put aside the video things. When you have producers leaving so bitterly like they're doing, whether you know it or not, it takes effect on your bottom line. It takes effect on your fan base. Right? They haven't gained any new fan base. They're actually been losing fan base, and that's a big, big, huge problem right now. They're dealing with. They need to start, getting back to new fan base. They need to start promoting these guys, but most importantly, they need to start protecting their producers. All right, the producers of that guy with keep calling that guy with the glasses, Channel Awesome, does not get paid unless you're actually within that circle where Rob and Doug and his cast members and Mike Machad is. And they need to do a true business model. Because I guarantee you this, if they're looking to get people to help, finance the business, they're not going to do what the way that with the stage they're on right now. They're not. All right, they really have to start practicing true business models, and they need to start practicing better ethics in terms of their own leadership. Because, well, there was a very serious allegation that was made by Lord Cat, Escurus Looper, and a lot of other people. And to me, that's a very, and it's not just Channel Awesome. Bad Expression needs to learn from this as well as a lot of people, a lot of agencies, a lot of websites who wants to form businesses. Say what you want about Spill.com. Yeah, they was controversial when it came to their podcast and everything else. But the one thing that Carol Coleman have always done was practice business ethics. He didn't he didn't treat it as just a simple website. He treated it like a business. All right. He was on the business. He was on the phone. He was constantly doing stuff, monitoring the site, doing a lot of stuff, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you own your business, you're not a 9 to 5 worker. You are literally running a business, and that's how you have to run your business. And I don't know if Mike Michaud is, because as you heard from Lord Cat, all he cares about is playing Xbox, and, and that's it. If that's the case, that's not a good thing. All right.
That's not good. If you're in charge of something, you should definitely be on that shit up. When I get up every day, I get when I get on the computer, the first 30 minutes or so is just me going over Facebook. I have 2 accounts. One is my main account, another is a role-playing account. Then, I check up if I got messages or something on other sites, and then from after that's all done and I start for the day, sometimes I won't stop working on blog stuff until maybe 3:20, 3:30, and I'm also taking writing commissions, so I'm also doing that while doing blog work. And I never really know what to do when I have a moment's peace because it's like, what's going on?
But the point is, that if you're serious, if you're dedicated, like for instance, throughout the month of August, I got a lot of stuff to do. I got a lot of stuff to get out. I have a deadline I want to get out before that deadline is done. There's a commitment that needs to be done. Um, I'm not going to discuss about what happened to Blister Thumb. I don't know what went wrong with Blister Thumb. I only go on by one person, what they saying, a couple other people, what they're saying. Um, for what I know, they just didn't happen in their finance to actually support two websites. It can happen. With that being said, um, you want to Channel Awesome is Mike Michelle's baby. He's running that thing now. And when Holly Christie made some comments, and for the record, Holly Christie was taking a lot of heat for things I didn't think she deserved. She took a lot of heat from the that guy with the glasses fans, Channel Awesome fans, as well as even some people from Matic Expression. And you hear some of the stuff she's saying now. It's like, wow, she was one of the things that held that site together, and she's not there, and you're seeing some very not so positive results from it. And to me, it goes well saying that your site is only as good as the owner. And if the owner is doing a lot of stupid, crazy stuff, like one of the things that was said that the reason why he didn't work with certain people because he didn't like them, that's not a good sign because, as you know, I work with a lot of people I don't like. Doesn't matter. I got a job to do.
Hey, are you
You know,
talking about me?
and
Sorry, I'm trying to
it
look.
was just
Oh my no.
well, but I'm being very specific. I said there's a lot of people don't like. There's a lot of people but you got to work with them. That's part of business. Business is business. And to me, one of the things that was very interesting about this, and this is why having a strong community is important. And I mentioned this years ago when that expression was bringing out, and that is that one of the reasons why Amazing Atheist when I felt it when I seen him as the distress watcher, nobody wanted to work with him, and that was because they got a mess not to work with him. The only person who worked with this guy was Benzai. And I'm like, wow, these guys are really good. I'm surprised nobody else will want to work with like that. Now, keep in mind, Maze has his own issues. There's no question about that.
I
But when
personally, I've used to follow him on YouTube and Tumblr. I sort of got annoyed by him, but what he did in Channel Awesome was actually really good work. And the reason why I checked out his YouTube channel, I would have loved seeing him continue to do what he did on Channel Awesome. And he should
and
have been treated like he did.
and that was the biggest issue. And he didn't hold a grudge against them, but it was very clear that a lot of people didn't want to work with him. But what made it even more interesting, and if this is true, that shows a lot of who Mike Bashad is. And I'm not saying that he's an evil guy, but if you're gonna hold a grudge on a person, if you didn't have felt comfortable with certain individuals on your website, why did you recruit them? And when they're there, why do you tell your producers not to work with him? That don't make no sense.
Hey, come work for our site, but let's see, we're not going to allow you to have I can't even come up with a skip because what the hell?
But that was the biggest problem here, and that was the biggest issue. And I said, you know what, we got to talk about this because these are some of the things you don't want to do when running a company. You want to keep the peace. You want to unite. You want to deal with the problems. And to me, I felt they didn't do that. I felt that, for one thing, not communicating with your fellow producers was a big no-no. You don't do that, especially when these producers are making you money. Right? You're making money out of somebody else's content, and you're not even paying them. Let's get that clear right now. You're not even paying them. You're making money off them. All right. At least you can do is communicate and find out what's going on. And I understand the reason why I'm not going crazy about that not paying situation because you
Manic
made it clear.
Manic Expression sort of has that same thing, you contribute, but
And you know what you're getting into. You know, they tell you. I will say that. The one thing about Channel Awesome, they let their producers know we don't pay you, but what this is gives you opportunity to get exposure. and that's fine if that's what you want, and if it gives you better exposure. I know the Blockbuster Monster has gotten better exposure with Channel Awesome. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But as long as you know that's what you're getting into, that's fine. Now, mind you, anniversary movies. I'm not traveling over to another state unless you pay me,
Yeah,
because I
it
know you're making. I know you're gonna make money off that movie. It ain't
yeah,
happening.
just and I have, my own disabilities, so, if shit goes wrong, I'd like to know at least I'm risking stuff for money, you know,
Mhm.
making money that I know this product is going to make. So, help with plane tickets. Nothing usually goes wrong on vacations, but, I'd like that security net there just in case. It's like and also you're making money off the product. Why the fuck wouldn't I get royalties off of it?
Well, that was one of many issues that was brought out. And again, they signed the contract. They stated what they was getting into. That's fine. I wouldn't have signed that contract. I'm being honest. All right. We went from movies. We went from this video producing is one thing. You're making a feature film to sell. That's a whole different thing. All
Yeah,
right. You're taking away a week, 2 weeks, probably a month of my time. I need to be compensated for it. It's nothing personal. It's business, and that's the way it should have been. That's one of the things that I agree with Spoonie. And Spoonie, when I had that drama with Twitter, and he finally spoken out, which I was very happy he did. He explained the situation. He said, "Listen, they wanted me to go there, but there was no guarantee, and I want to run my own thing. I want to do my own business. I want to run my own site the way it is." And he said, "I wasn't being paid." When I found out he wasn't getting paid, I'm like, wait a minute, so how are you getting paid? And found out it was for the Blimp system. I said, all right, which he doesn't rely on anymore. He hasn't been on Blimp for 2 years. He actually moved away from Blimp, and actually was a blessing in disguise because we see what happened there. But he mentioned that he wasn't even getting paid to be in the movies. Now he doesn't regret it. He enjoyed it. It gave him more exposure than he have. But he said that that took that took a huge chunk of him out. It took a huge chunk of his life out because he could have been doing something else that could help benefit him. This wasn't benefiting him; it was benefiting Shannon Awesome. And again, they signed a contract. They know what it's getting into. That's fine. I can't knock somebody, and then you agree to do that. But I'm saying, just for me, I can't travel across the country doing a project that I know I'm not getting any benefit from. I don't think anybody would, but these guys have done it. The point I'm trying to get here is, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, he's bashing Channel." I'm not bashing Channel Awesome. Let's get that clear. I am actually giving them constructive criticism, and they need this because, frankly, they need to look at what's been going on these last 5 years. You need to look at the stuff that worked, but most important, you need to look at the stuff that didn't work. You need to look at your policies. You need to look at how you've been treating your producers. You need to look at what has been happening these couple of years that let you lose viewership. You need to look at everything. You can't just blame ad blocks for all the problems because that's one thing I've been hearing. You're getting ad block this, ad block that, and it's not just ad blocks. There's an attitude that comes around, and one of the things that I've said, and just for the record, Spoonie almost lost his fan base because of what has going on with him personally. You had a lot of trolls, had no or had nothing but you know creating a lot of problems, and it took him a while to get back. He still hasn't got back to that big to where he was. He probably never will, but he's still doing his own thing. He's still doing his own shows, and people are going to watch him. He's gonna be fine. Channel Awesome, we owe you a lot. I'll say this, all right? If it wasn't for you, straight up and down, it wouldn't be a Matic expression. Let's keep it real, all right? I really enjoyed the stuff that I've seen in the last 5 6 years with Dog Walkers, that guy with the glasses, the Nostalgia Critic, as well as Angry Joe, as well as the Blockbuster Buster, as well as Iron Liz and the Top of the Fourth Wall, and God knows other producers. You guys were awesome. You guys are great. I appreciate what the work you've been doing. Um, don't think it's a knock on you guys. What I'm saying is basically saying is that there are a lot of people who left bitterly. That it's not a coincidence. They all have similar experiences from what they experienced. It's if you want to move forward to the future, aside from the game show, which you're going to get criticized regardless if people like it or not. You just got to accept that. Decide the situation with Indiegogo, which I don't, like I said, if people want to donate $1,000, that's fine. Personally, that's when it's time to go to the bank and say, I need a loan. You need to start doing better business practices. You need to start realizing that, yeah, you got a company now. You need to start running it as a company. You need to start looking outside the box. I get a feeling that you're stuck, that you're stuck on that one little box corner, and you have not yet found a way to break free from that. You need to start doing that. You need to start taking it to the next level because it's only because what you guys doing can only take you so far before you finally crash and burn, and you may never recover from it. And trust me when I say this, I don't want to see that channel awesome fall. I really don't. There's videos out there saying that, oh, this is the end of channel awesome. Don't say it. Come on, stop. All right.
I
No,
just
I mean,
don't want to see it really crash and burn like it's appearing to. I would like it to recover because I know for a time I was all constantly on that site. I even liked taking Lankar's videos and wait until he had maybe 4 or 5 episodes of Atop the Fourth Wall and just do a fucking binge for a weekend.
exactly. I mean, you have a fan base still. The problem is the reason why they're not coming back is the way things have been operated. It's time for you guys to have a serious meeting, discuss the situation, discuss what's working, what's not working, and then move on from there. There was a lot of issues about what Lorcat had said about conventions. You know what? You got a website. You need to promote yourself. You need to go out there and make yourself be known. Go to these conventions.
You have to whore yourself out.
You really got to make it be known. This is not these conventions are more than just going out and just getting good items and watch your favorite watch your favorite stars talking a panel. The reason why they're talking a panel, all
Yeah,
right,
it's
they're
so
promoting
nice to
something.
notice. You notice and you're like, hey, I might have not known this before, but now I do, and that this seems really fucking interesting. So I'm gonna check
Especially
whatever is out.
it's called networking. You need to start doing a better job networking. You cannot say, "Well, I don't like these conventions." Well, these conventions is probably the thing that you probably need to advance your company. All right, and look, you guys have done it before. You guys have went to these conventions. You guys have talked on these conventions. You guys have done a lot of things at conventions. Continue doing that. All right, you know, have to accept some of the criticisms that some of your fans have actually said. All right. One of them happened to be your game show. Embraced that. Said, okay, you know what? This ain't working. Let's see what's not working. I guarantee if you look at the comment sections of Roll from Roll, you start to see a similar pattern. You can actually erase some of the nonsense of the fact. Because I know how trolls can be. Trust me. You can actually filter out because you can always find what did this comment and this comment and this comment and this comment have in common, and you'll see. Okay, this is what's problem. This is what's going on. Make better business decisions. Um, don't hold grudges. All right, because your business. If Mike McShawn is the CEO, he should learn this. Don't hold grudges. He should look at it as a business point of view. He should be on his business 24 hours a day. He should be going to different states, going to different areas, talking to different people, relating. Trying to get promotion, trying to get new contracts, trying to get new ideas out there. Because here's the thing: your resources is limited, and donations can only take you so far before it finally it's not long enough. All right. This game show, I'm not surprised the way it is because there was very little funding for it. There really was. $9,000. Um, I'm sorry, it's not enough to host a game show. Family Feud alone costs almost $6 million to host, and that's just the setup. I ain't talking about the prizes, which is even more money. I mean, I don't know what more I can say. I mean, Channel Awesome. I mean, you guys are so great. I want to see you back to greatness again. I know, Manic Expression and Channel Awesome had a lot of issues in the past, which died down quite quickly. Um, but to me, and that was one of the main primaries, because I don't want to continue, going for this riff. It's none of my concern about going on Channel Awesome. But the point is, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because these issues have really started to take a negative toll to the point where people are saying that this will not last a year. Channel Awesome is going to be gone after a year. I don't want to see that happening. All right. But what the negativity is going on, with the allegations that's going on, there need to be better leadership, and it needs to be better, uh, a better direction in terms of management, in terms of business sense. That's the key word. You need to do better than that. Josh, I'm going to let you talk the rest of the way. Maybe hear what you have to say until we move on.
Oh God, it's leadership. I agree with the leadership. Definitely, if you're running anything, you need to be sure of where you're going, and if plans change, to make that change feel good, not feel so abrupt. It's God, fuck, and the allegations of Mike Machad just at playing all day. It's no, dude. If you're in charge of a company, you run that you run that shit. And with the Indiegogo campaign, just seeing what the payouts for each thing was, and I watched actually multiple videos about this thing. It was like, wait. And what the greatest part was when they were saying, "Oh, you can visit our studios." It was, we're not paying for a food, travel or lodging. It's like, so what if our fucking like plane ticket or whatever form of transportation we decide to take costs more than the amount we're paying to go there? And what about finding an actual place to stay and how much that costs? It's like, so we're paying to pay more money.
Well, that part I didn't get. So I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, you're asking me to pay you $1,000 plus or $4,000. That was a lot of money. I know that. And yet you couldn't even give me the respect to give me a plane ticket to go down there and see you guys do your thing. I
Not
don't know.
even
That was weird.
plane ticket, and then we pay for our way back.
That didn't make any sense. um, yeah, a lot of people. I seen those videos, by the way. I'm like, wow. And this is what I say again. And this is why I can't get. There was a lot of guys who, they make videos just by, criticizing the hell out of Channel Awesome and Mad Expression. I've seen those two, especially with Daniel Roth. But here's the thing. It was hard to say. It's hard to justify what Channel Awesome projects were when you're asking for that much money. I said that's why I said business practices. You're gonna start asking for that much money to run a show. Start going to a bank. Start pushing your promotion out there. Get a good business model. Got news for you. Companies, they when they resources just as limited as ours. That's why they got stocks and bonds. You're buying into the company. If you don't want to do that, if you don't want to go public, that's fine. I'm not saying that's the best way to go, but you need to start doing better. You need to start having a business plan and present it to the bank firms to get a loan so you can do your job. All right, if you're and that's the whole thing, because you can't keep asking for thousands of dollars and put up a quiz show like I seen. Okay, and listen, wasn't shocked. All right, all right. People forget that $1,000, the $90,000 they have, it's not just going to one show. It's going to many different shows. So already they're stretching the money thin as it is. All right. My only hope is the next two shows. I hope they come out because it's going to be going on 3 years, and people's going to start asking questions as to what did you do with the money? Because obviously it didn't go to that game show by itself. And
And
to me, and I've seen the game show.
I
I
haven't.
don't know. It's kind of weird that the game show is on YouTube, but it's not on Channel Awesome. You can't find it on Channel Awesome. That's the only reason why I didn't know this game show exists until now. Because this show has been on, I think it's 8 episodes in now, and I didn't, and not one episode I can find on Channel Awesome. It's on
What?
their website. It's on YouTube.
Wait. Oh, okay. So they make this, game show. They support it with the fucking Indiegogo campaign, and then they're like, let's not actually promote this. It's like they're ashamed for what they did, so they're like, nope, doesn't exist.
I don't think as much as it was promoted because I know they promoted it, but it's like it's not on their channel.
What I mean by promoting is putting it on the side where it's supposed to be from.
That's why I was kind of wondering because I'm like, okay, look, I've seen it. I went to Channel Awesome to look to find that show, and I'm like, what the hell is it? Is I see all the producers, I see the, I see the applications, I see the application to join a site. You gotta be in the Chicago area. You gotta name. You gotta be 18 years old. But I don't see the actual show on their site. And I find that kind of weird. I'm looking at the show on because um, Lord was trying to do a riff, and he couldn't even do a riff. He couldn't even do the riff. I mean, he was just like, "It's not funny." I watched it just as it is, because there's like a whole bunch of lists, and I'm like looking at it, and it's like the nostalgia critic only different. That's the best way I can do. And
What?
Brad was supposed to do be the host, and he did one episode, and from what I understand, he just stopped doing it. I don't know what happened, but he just stopped doing it. And that was the where the free Brad came in because Brad wasn't. I don't. I'm pretty convinced now that Brad was not happy with the final product. I really don't think he was. But he's still posting videos, so it's not like he left the site. But it is. You can't do that to people. And I look again. The only reason why I'm not going crazy about this because I know $90,000 did not go on just that one game show. If you look at the Indiegogo very carefully, it was supposed to go to three shows. Three. So $90,000 was split into three shows. One of them happens to be, I believe they call it Pop Quiz something. I'll leave you a link when we get off the show so you can see it yourself.
Culture quiz.
Yeah, it was that.
I
And
never seen it. I don't.
and you when you see it, you like you will understand what I'm talking about. And I think from what I've seen, I do know that there was some because people did some like cash, those captions, whatever they call it, to capture some of the comments before it got deleted. The comments on yeah, the comments was not very good, especially if you're on YouTube. It's not very good. So
YouTube, where the
yeah,
trolls go to feed.
yeah, but they ain't the trolls. That's the funny. But I recognize some of those guys on Channel Awesome, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. But I honestly, it's like with the Angry Video Game. The Angry Video Gamer did not get good reviews with his movie, not by his fans, not even by some of the critics, which I was surprised they actually took the time to watch the movie. I really did. But you cannot expect when you can't expect too much when you cannot expect a show, a $20 million show, to be run over $9,000. All right. If your prize is $100 plus a toy model car, what do you expect is going to happen? You're not. That's the quality. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not saying I'm impressed by it. It doesn't help. It doesn't help people who want to promote a show, promote it. But you got to be realistic. Um, they probably spent $30,000 on this one show, and we got what we paid for, $30,000. Keep in mind, you also got to pay rent. They don't own the building; they just rent the building. So I don't know. To me is I don't know what else to say, but to me is you got to watch the show to believe it. But
I don't know if I want to. I've read all the 50 Shades of Grey books, minus the new one from Christian Grey's point of view.
I
I
know.
don't. I have seen. I have stared into the abyss, and it has stared back.
But you're trying to compare this to you're trying to compare Channel also to 50 Shades of Grey.
No,
Really?
I'm just saying I've seen bad, and now you're saying, "Oh, this is something terrible. Look at it." I don't.
I'll say
It's a way to
I'll say
attract me.
this. Look, I'll say this. You get what you pay for. All right. You get what you pay for. All right. The show is exactly what I expected to be, just like what I expected the Angry Video Gamer movie to be. So I can't sit here with a straight face and say that that I was expecting $1 million quiz show. They don't even have an audience. So what do you want me to tell you? I mean, you get what you pay for. I mean, uh, I just look again. Well, the game show aside, I'm more concerned. I'm not concerned about the producers there. I don't get into that kind of nonsense. It's none of my business what happened to Jesse Otako or Nash. It's none of my concern about why Lord Cat hates Todd in the Shadow all of a sudden, or I have a beef with Chapocalypse, the website that Lindsay Ellis runs. I don't care about that. What I do care about, what I am concerned about, and not just for not just for Channel also, but Mass Expression as well, is there needs to be better leadership. And I think that, in my opinion, I think there's too many yes men and not enough people actually, voicing their own feedback. And I think they need to start considering getting admins like we have in Man of Expression, getting admins to bounce around ideas to get ideas flowing. Um, and as far as the CEO concerned, he needs to act like a CEO, plain and simple. All right, because it's more about him than it is about Doc and Rob. Right? He need to start acting like a CEO. He need to start acting like a leader. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear these stories about he didn't like this guy. That's why he don't want nobody to work with this guy, or he didn't want to go to make a partnership because he don't like this guy, or he's spending too much time playing Xbox and not enough time actually improving and if you're finding more resources for the site. He needs to start acting like a CEO. For the CEO, they're doing their job almost day in and day out, from morning to night, trying to make improve the site, trying to get resources, going to on business trips to promote the site, get new customers, get new sponsorship. He's there constantly on the move, and if he's not constantly on the move, and if he can't take that job seriously, I have to say this, Rob, Doug, maybe considering they need to get some new leadership there. Plain and simple. All right. Now I don't know how much. For what I understand, um, Mike Michaud is the principal owner, and for what I also understand, he actually owns the rights to the Nostalgia Critic, which I don't know how true that is. But if he's going to be the CEO, given that title, and he wants to run like a business, start running it like a business. All right. These pettiness that's been going on these last year and a half has hurt you. It hurt you really, really bad. All right. More than the ad blocks, which you can constantly want to blame. But you got to start being a leader. All right. And for the record, I'm not mad at Linkara for sticking up for the site. I'm not. All right. He's trying to do. He has done well on that site. He's going to try and do everything he can to protect it. But at the same time, he needs to step up and say, "Hey, listen, you guys are messing up here. All right. There should not be for 5 years constant producers saying the same thing that the next person have said and have more worse experience than ever. There's no excuse for that. All right, start practicing better leadership. Start doing better business practices. Because if you can't, the stuff is gonna happen. And eventually, gonna drag you to the mud. Closing statements, Josh.
Sorry, I was plugging my laptop in. It's running out of juice. But Yeah, it's also if you're going to hire people to work for your site, you need to promote them. You need to give them a good experience. If you're if you want to later kick them off, leave on good terms because you don't want shit to be thrown back at your site. You don't want them to have a terrible experience on there and then a terrible experience getting kicked off so that they're like, you know what? Fuck you, and fuck you. I'm going to tell the shit that happened to me. You don't want that. You want, not only do you need to promote whatever your site in this case, you need to make sure it has a good image. Hence, PR people.
And that's the key here because again, and to be fair, there's some things you can't avoid. There are going to be people going to leave on bitter terms, especially if there's a controversy between the two. I understand, I get that, but you don't want to make it a habit of having stuff that could have been prevented if your CEO was on his job and was practicing good ethics skills. Hearing that he has trapped someone in a corner, making them cry for whatever reason, hearing that they are, they probably have something against women, that's not good. And
Mhm.
see, keeping quiet about it is not going to help. And to
I
me,
was
when the
watching
moment,
an atheist not movie, a video the other day about his experience on that guy with the glasses.com, and he was talking about one of his videos that never actually got posted to the side because they thought, oh, our audience is too homophobic and they'll like lash out and there'll be trolls. One, there will always be trolls. Two, what the shouldn't you want to show that you're accepting of everyone and then attract those kinds of people?
well,
I don't I
I saw that video, and like I said, he explained the situation. I believe what he was saying. At the same time, he did left on good terms. That's good. He didn't have no grudge. He had no anger on them, and he moved on. And he
was
still got
one
his
of his
fan base.
older videos.
Mhm. But the question now lies into the situation here. And again, I was going to talk about this next week. Glad I'm
It
actually
would
talking
have been
about it
a
now.
good mid-season finale topic. I screwed
I'll
up.
come up with something. Don't worry about that. I actually have an idea. It will require me get in contact with a lot of people, but I'm gonna have a plan for that mid-season finale. Trust me. I will leave at this. Okay. Leadership is very important for all businesses here. If you have a good leader, a good CEO who knows what he's doing, and trust me, CEO can sometimes be hard to work with. But if you have a good CEO, um, it can make an experience very, very good. I can safely say that, for the most part, um, Matt Aggression has good leadership. We have problems here and there, of course, but the one thing that Daniel Walsh has always done every month, he keeps us up to date what's going on. He got a lot of people involved in a lot of good things in terms of podcasts. You know, it's not a perfect.
I need to join the podcast now and again because now you're taking off that time. Now I can actually blame this podcast.
Well, there's a lot of podcasts going on now, more than it was last few years. The podcast place is still going on strong. Like I said, we still got a long way to go, but he have shown the leadership that needs to be done. There are people who are going to criticize him. Of course, I've seen the videos that criticize him over the past, but that's to be expected. But it's been very minimum. All right, and to me, again, a good leadership goes a long way. Um, I hope that the fans, and I know a lot of fans are gonna say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," blah blah blah. All right, fine. But the one thing you cannot deny is that there are way too many stories going on from former producers, and you cannot jog it up as them just being bitter or jealous because they couldn't cut it. All right. That can't be true. First of all,
always love
I
it when people use the whole "oh, you're just jealous" fallacy, because it's like that's so if I say I admit that I'm jealous, then I lose. If I explain in detail why I'm not jealous, oh my god, you're still jealous and you're lying and blah blah blah. I,
this has nothing to do with jealousy. It has something to do with creative, with constructive criticism. And to me, again, this has nothing to do with the producers of the of Channel Awesome. Producers of Channel Awesome, they're just video makers, just like you and me. They post their videos there. Half the people there, I don't need to go to Channel Awesome to see their videos. Chris Stuckman is on YouTube. I can watch. He was on YouTube before he came on Channel Awesome. All I need to do is go on YouTube
oh,
and
Chris
watch his videos.
Tucker's on Channel Awesome.
Yeah, he's on. He's on. He's been picked up about a year and a half ago.
Well,
So
shit, I
he's
didn't know.
there.
I've watched a few of his videos, and he's very entertaining and informative. Didn't
Yeah.
know he
So
was picked up that Channel Awesome.
yeah. Stuff you like, I actually watch on the Agony booth, and I still watch that stuff. I don't know if Retsuka is doing any more videos. I haven't seen her in a while, but I watch her stuff there. Terra Skuris, I love watching this stuff. There's a lot of people I don't need to go on Channel Awesome to watch. Um, so it's not just about that. There are people who I will go because I want to see Linkara. He's still on Channel Awesome. I'll see the Blockbuster Buster there. I'll see some CR. I see those guys there. I have no problems with supporting those guys there. But the thing is, what I don't want to support is bad leadership. Leadership that can run a wonderful site to the ground. And that's the thing I want Channel Awesome to do. I don't, again, this is not bashing them. I want them to bring, I want them to actually make improvements. I want them to look at what they've been doing and just improve on that. And don't get stuck. Because here's the thing I actually felt, and this is something why sometimes the fans can bury you than help you. All right. I never felt that Doug Walker should have ended Demo Reel. He ended Demo Reel because the fans backlash against that, and they felt that he wanted to bring back the Nostalgia Critic. Now, kind of clever that he brought back the Nostalgia Critic, and it still felt like it was still Demo Reel because that's exactly what it is, just starting as a Nostalgia Critic. But I felt that since then, he's been trapped in that one nostalgic dimension. He's not been branching out. He's not been, he's not been stretching out. You can see he wants to do more stuff, but I felt that he's been typecast in the corner some to that last point, and I hope that's not the case. And if it is, don't do that. Right? You got ideas, take the risk because it's all. But one thing about business, it's about risk. You have to take risk. Right? You cannot stay in the safe zone for long because if you don't take the risk and you don't move into that direction, your company's gonna fold. Just like a lot of other companies that happened over the years. Right? Marvel Comics, the reason why they have been popular now is they take risk, and they took a lot of risk. Some worked out great, some did not, but it didn't stop them. They continued to move forward, and that's what you need to do. All right. The other shows that have not been yet been produced, produce those shows. All right. Come out with the shows, update the people. Show that you're trying to do something new. All right. Don't stay in one spot. All right, because here's the thing that really caught my attention. It wasn't even the fact that the show the cheap. 'Cause again, I didn't expect much from the budget he was working on, but I felt I was watching a nostalgia critic just doing a game show. That's what it felt like to me. You need to move forward. You need to do something new, and you need to take notes. Okay, didn't work. Let's see what we can do to improve it. All right, what can we do to help bring our fans, to embrace our fans, embrace the community, because they're the ones that will make you and break you. There's no question about it. So don't be afraid to make changes. But most importantly, practice better business modeling because I really want this. I don't want to see Channel Awesome go. All right, we already lost Spill, and that was not because of the community or anything else. It was because number one that Hollywood Studios could no longer afford to keep two sites on there. All right, and I got nothing against Hollywood Studios. It's just that's what it is. But we don't want to. I don't want to see Channel Awesome go down. I don't want to see them lose what they have built for 7 years. All right, 7 years. I don't want to see that happening. All right, make the improvements. Show the fans that you do care, that you want them to come back, and give them a reason to come back. Be creative. Show some new stuff. Don't stay in the box. And that's all I got to say about that. Go ahead.
Bucket. It's just, yeah, with Doug Walker, yeah, it's like if you, with my own blog, there has been stuff I tried and for one reason or other died down and quit. There's other things where I've, taken the same idea but changed things up. When my hard drive crashed a few years ago, I finally started to get really, really into vlog episode reviews. So my YouTube channel would be more, active. I decided later on that my movie reviews and, that took more time. I'd be still doing vlogs, but they would be multi-vlogs so I could spend more time on a subject and be around the same length as one of my former multi-movie reviews would be. So, you do have to change things up every now and again, maybe because you yourself are feeling stagnant or you just want to try new things and, see how they work out. And once you have an idea that doesn't really work out, don't necessarily drop it, but why isn't it working out, and change shit up.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm hoping that whoever the fan of the channel also take heed to what we're saying here. Again, I don't want to see Channel Awesome fall. I know a lot of people who are jealous or angry or bitter want to see it crumble. I don't want to see that crumble. All right? I want to see it improve. I want to see them have new things going on. I want to see better leadership from the old guards. But at the same time, I think they need to look really seriously, look at themselves in the mirror, really have a serious discussion with each other and say, where do we really want to take this site, and can we continue taking this site with the way we're doing things now? I really think they need to really have a sit down and do that, and I think it would be a perfect time. And take advice from some of the producers, because keep in mind they're there. They're just they're helping you just as much as you helping them. And believe me, they will feel me more appreciated, more welcoming to do their stuff if they feel they have more of a say at what goes on. At least have them have suggestions, so that way you guys know the better way the direction. But most importantly, just change the method, just change the business model, because I don't want to keep hearing this stuff. All right, a 2 part 12-hour rant from one person on your site. That's not good, especially when he's having guest appearance who are former members of your site, especially when I'm seeing blogs from former producers of your site. When your own director, Holly Christie, I believe that's her last name, Holly Christie,
Yeah.
starting to criticize you on what you're doing right now. That's when it's time to start looking uh, at yourself and saying, "Hey, we gotta stop this. We're not improving that. We gotta fix this." But most importantly, we need to make sure that the fans know, especially since they're donating money to you, that we're really serious about giving them the best quality we possibly can. And be honest. Let them know this is where the money is going to. Let them know how it's being produced. Okay. And as far as those ranters there, because I got a lot to say about that as well. All right. You don't know how much money that guy with the glasses, or Channel Awesome, is making. Okay. I'm aware that somebody had played a video saying they go to this website. I'm not going to go to no website because first of all, the websites don't know what they have in their books. Unless that website knows what they have, what's in their books, and have seen how much money they make in their books, you don't know exactly how much they're making for sure. All right, I'm getting a little tired of saying, "Oh, they making millions of dollars, $100 million." Trust me, that's not. I seriously doubt that's the case. Are they making a lot of money? Probably, but you know what? Just because they made money last year doesn't mean they're making that same amount of money this year. So please, before you guys go up there and say they're making all that $1,000, think about it. Have you seen their books? Unless you've seen their books, you don't know how much money they're really making. I don't know how much money Channel also making. I don't even know how much money Mag Express is making, and I post for them.
It
I honestly
just
don't. I mean,
well, one of the things, if you don't have a big but if you don't have a lot of money to spend, you shouldn't be doing things that require a lot of money. You should say, hey, I really want to do this, but the budget right now isn't working out. And
and
just like put it off to the side, have say, hey, maybe we can't necessarily do this, but maybe if we mess with the budget a little, we can actually do that.
that's why when I support, and I really do support Enron. I think he's a great producer, and he's very honest about the situation that he's done. And he showed me even a lot more when he made that video today. He made it very clear. Hey, look, I don't have the money to be this big producer. Not that I really care, because I love the way he does his videos. It's creative. I think sometimes you do a lot more with less, which is proven with what he done. But he said, hey, look, I don't have the computer capacity. I don't have the hardware. I don't have the hard drive. And he's honest about it. All right. He wants to do more, but he can't. He's only working with the budget he has. And that's honesty right there. And I believe him. All right. And that's the thing I actually can respect. So anybody say, oh, he's making $1 million, I said, no, he's not. All right. I can tell you he's not. Channel Awesome, if they were making a whole lot of money like these guys are claiming they is, then I shouldn't see a show the way I should have saw when I saw that game show. That game show should have been a lot more. All right. And everybody's saying $90,000. They made $99. Hey, they said $90,000 for 3 shows. All right. We don't. Hey, I'm not saying they spend all the money. I'm not saying they may still have the money for all I know. But you got to remember, they're dividing it into 3 shows. That's 3 productions they have to they have to balance the budget on, and that's not including paying rent or electric, or even some of their staff because they do have paying staff there. So keep that in mind before you make a decision that they're making all this money. Because if that was the case, Blim TV should have still been on the air right now. Obviously, they're not making that much money if Blip is still on the. Oh, it's not if Blip is off the air. Any uh, any promotion you'd like to share before I make some announcements?
Oh, sorry. Okay, we're doing promotions. Okay.
Unless you want to go one more hour.
No, I'm sorry. I admit I was sort of on flight rising for a little bit. I was like, they have rated matches on the site, and it takes forever for you to get one rated match. So I'm just like, I can probably go for 30 or 45 minutes without, getting an actual match. I had to hold back my squee of joy when it just like, wow, you can actually fight another player. It just takes so long. I got my ass kicked, but at least it was there. I like getting tough battles where it's hopeless and I get my ass kicked. So, and I prefer battles where I nearly die, but it's barely make it out alive. But sorry, I was just like, they work, people. If you're on Flight Rising, I'm Jashikins, and those rated battles actually work. Brooke, I'm slowly working on my ebook. I haven't been had any luck of finding time to work on it since we last talked, but I've been planning about, scheduling things and actually having time to do more. So I'm also have another ebook series sort of a little planned out, at least the backstory, not necessarily like maybe where the first book or two will go. I have to work a lot on a backstory for that. But it's going to be post-apocalyptic, and it will not take place, at least in the beginning, and I might try to avoid it altogether, about the whole infamous, oh, it's post-apocalyptic, and look, it just happens to take place in a famous city. oh, look at San Francisco, Chicago. So that my own blog will be going on a slight hiatus. I might still get things done, but while my fiance is over here, not necessarily going to be the case because, I'll be focusing on him, and then two of my family members will be coming over. I will try
Interesting.
to keep up with writing commissions, though, because I have a little quee, and so I'm wanting to get stuff like that done, but
I understand.
not what?
I understand.
Yeah, so I don't want to make them wait too long, and then uh, I would go on Fiverr. I'm also Jashikins on Fiverr. That's where I do my Ryan commissions, and I'm thinking of adding a voice acting gig on there. Of if you need maybe part of a podcast, play some form of dialogue, maybe like a fan made trailer. Maybe you want me to read part of your fanfic or original story. Now, more rules and such will be added once I actually get it put up, but I won't actually put it up until after my slight mini hiatus.
Uh, and you're wondering why I said there was going to be a mid-season finale in August.
Well,
um,
actually, I had the latest Josh Talks episode was sort of an addition, and I had two people, come onto the podcast, and so when I choose, I will have a co-host for With Extra Happy, which is my Animorphs podcast, and it will be airing while this show is on hiatus. So if I can get like days of, like if you can text me like the specific days that will be on hiatus, I can plan. Okay, I'll be able to do a podcast this day, this day, and this day.
well, I'll save it a trip. Next week is the last one, and we won't do nothing until the second week of September.
Okay, I'll
So
forget.
you'll
I'll text you when I forget.
no problem. Um, as for me, the countdown to the third installment of Park Slope Adventures has begun. The title is Around the Park, which will be posted exclusively on madexpression.com. The Rough House Gang officially has a date where it's going to be done on a Pacific weekend day only, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and sometimes Monday, depending on the demand of the writing. Both stories take place in the same universe. One takes place 40 to 50 years prior to the original story of Park Slope. So those are the things I'm going to be working on, and pretty much be focusing the whole month on. It's going to be around the clock writing, a lot of dictionary looking at. Also, I will be starting my thoughts on Harry Potter very very soon. I'm actually getting the final touches. I am trying to find the original books, the original edition, at least in paperback. There's a reason for that. There's actually been a lot of stuff that some of these publishers have been doing, which I don't like. They've been trying to make Harry Potter more friendly for some reason, less scarier, which I don't agree with. So I'm trying to find um, the original the books the way it was meant to be written. I actually know exactly where to go. It's the matter of catching them at the right time and catching these books at the right time. So I'm going to start doing some analyzation. It's not much of a review, but my own thought because this book, in case you don't know, have really helped influence me getting my GED. So that was one of the main reasons why I'm giving these series very special attention in terms of what these books meant to me, especially how it relates to the real world that we live in. So look for that very very soon. I'll start working on that. It will be an audio form, of course. But it will be something that I will be pushing forward um, throughout the years. It's not a 1 year thing. It's going to be a long, long process, 2 maybe 4 years, because I'm covering not just one but all the books as a read and review book. So that's it, pretty much. Jessica, got anything you want to say before we head out?
I could have taken off my Wookiee hat. Oh my god, now I actually. Oh, there's a wave of coolness now. Oh god. Florida. And that's
All right, guys.
until next video.
So I guess until next video, till next week, we'll be back for the season finale. I don't know if Johnson's going to join us. If she does, that's great. If not, then we'll see her when she come out in the second half of the season. Until then, J77 saying take care, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye. Say bye, Josh.
Adios, amigos. Arriba.